Good morning, afternoon, or whatever it is. Just going to go through the progress monitoring stuff with you here quickly. So on your screen here, you should see the tracker. I've obviously hidden column A with identifying information for FERPA reasons, but just going to kind of walk you through this. So on each of these, you'll notice there's reading, writing, math, transition-related services. Heather's going to take care of the transition. Related services should already be uploaded to GoalView by Melanie, and we'll get to that here shortly. As you scroll through the different columns, you're going to see who it is assigned to. This is based on the class that they're in. For that particular service. So, there's going to be definitely some variations there. Another thing that you're going to see is an M. This means that you need to do a manual progress report. If that comes up in your case, it is the case manager's responsibility to set that up, and I'll walk you guys through that in PLC. To get that done. GE swap is a kid that needs to be swapped from Gen Ed. This DNQ is a kid that needs to be removed from special ed. They don't qualify in the service areas. So really quickly, so in GoalView, we're going to bring up a student. So this is in the IEP, as you've all seen before, and here's these goals. Now this is obviously a fictional student, not real. So what we're going to do is once you pull up the student, we're actually going to come down to progress monitoring. We're going to click on that, and notice it'll give us all of the lists. So we're going to focus on our reading and our writing, and our math, and we're going to mark progress on these goals. Now, when it asks for the date, you can choose today's date. You can choose the end of the term. It's just kind of personal preference. I personally like to do the end of the term because that's when we're reporting the progress as of. We'll just say create new date. And then I'm going to go through and I'm going to fill out each of these. So write a paragraph. So let's say he can write a short paragraph with 2 sentences and has some errors. So we're going to say he's at 50%. We're going to say sufficient progress. And then in our note, we're going to say fifth has made good progress towards this goal. He continues to make errors in spelling and mechanics. Oops, I can't type here. He attends class and participates more than roughly 80% of the time. You're basically with this one, you're going to say whether basically sum up their attendance and participation based on your the data that you have, and we're just going to go ahead and hit save. Notice it put it in there, and it's going to show up in the output. You can still go back, edit, delete, that type of thing if you need to. That's perfectly fine. But just make sure that the note that you're doing applies to the goal and the progress that they made on it. Just kind of a brief narrative of it, including their attendance. Now, let's say fifth didn't avoided math class. Okay, he was at 20%, didn't make insufficient progress. So we would say fifth has attended less than 20% of the offered IEP math services. It is reasonable that we are unable to report sufficient progress. So just simple like that. You can even just copy that verbatim there and save it. Okay, so notice we've got the two different ones here. Now, there are going to be a few cases, such as the ones from the Gen Ed classes, the ones from in Math and Personal Finance that haven't gotten the class yet. So with those, we're just going to do a note. So it's going to be, and I'm just kind of doing a new one just to show you. So we're just going to say that it was not addressed, and we're going to say fifth was not enrolled in a special education, we'll just say reading class. I'm just making this up. We were unable to address this goal. We look forward to working with him next semester on this goal. It can be semester or quarter, just depending on however it is, and then save it. So it's just going to kind of depend. Obviously, I had to do this one a little weird, just simply because of only having the two goals there. Now, at this point, you're just going to want to make sure you hit save so that all your goals are saved. After everyone has entered all of their progress notes, then we're going to go through and we will finalize these. I'm going to do a different video to show you that. So don't hit anything but the save on there, and then you can move on to the next student in GoView. But come back and just mark off the goals that were done. Just change the color to green. And then the case manager will come through and be the one to finalize those and get them uploaded to SharePoint, which I'm going to do a completely different video on for that point. But that should at least get you started on progress monitoring. I know this was a little long-winded. Hopefully, it'll give you at least the basics. Make sure you're marking it in GoView and on the tracker so that we can kind of see where everyone is at, see who needs help, that type of thing. If you have questions or concerns, talk to Wendy, talk to myself, talk to Tabitha, whatever you need to do, and we'll help you get through that. But hopefully this should answer most of your questions and get you started. Remember, these are due next Friday. Thanks.